There's just some words I can't say. Like brewery. Can't say it. Brewery.
I always get made fun of some of the words.
I think you got to turn it into 2 syllables.
Brewery.
No. Brewery.
Brewery.
Brewery. Brewery.
That came out a little accent.
Brewery.
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 Can't do it.
Brewery.
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 Welcome to Rebecca's over there like
trying to think what just happened.
Hey, I'm accustomed to dad jokes. It's all good.
All right. Welcome to the Gathering Greenhouse, a podcast to help us grow together. I'm David.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Rebecca.
And we are here to knock you out.
No, never mind.
Yeah.
Are you doing I'm going to knock you out? Mama said knock you out.
Oh, LL Cool J?
Yeah.
I know who that
See,
is.
we're so cool. Look at us, David.
Old school rap was so much better than the junk of today. So much better.
Did you see that the guy who's going to do the Super Bowl halftime show?
No, who is it?
I don't remember, but when I don't
Kendrick
know.
Lamar?
When I read his thing, he's learned his bio. He's like had like 18 Grammys or something. I thought I've never even heard of this guy.
I thought it was
so
him.
uncool.
Everybody has Grammys though. 'Cause they
Well,
give out
that's a
so
bunch
many.
of them though.
It's like I got a Grammy for best song in 6/8 time, under 3 minutes, filmed in Miami, with a video that lasts longer than the song itself.
It's like baseball statistics, basically, is what you're saying.
Easy. Did
Baseball
you guys know that the Tigers are still in the playoff picture? It's September. They're only 3.5 games out of the playoff picture. Crazy.
Good thing
going
about
on
being
in
a
Michigan?
Reds fan is football season started.
Is it really? Because it didn't go so well.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you take what the Bengals have done the last 2 seasons, I say we're right on track, maybe for a Super Bowl again. So
yeah. They're
we lost the first game.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that's always a good sign. As long as Burrow still stays healthy, right?
Yeah.
So, all right.
Hey, he held the ball because was it his wrist last year he hurt that he couldn't grip it?
It's a pinky or something.
It's something.
I don't know.
I mean, I pretend to like the Bengals, so people around here will be happy with me.
Yeah, but you don't really pay attention to them.
I don't really know much about them. I know, other than like fantasy football value. So Joe Burrow's a little bit valuable.
Yeah,
Jamar Chase is valuable. That's about it, though.
That's about it for the Bengals. T. Higgins might be, but
if you're really running low on wide receivers, yeah. But Joe Mixon had a day yesterday.
I know. They get rid of Joe Mixon and he goes and big time.
It's just like at home.
It's just this is what.
It's just like at home.
Yeah, you need to get a girl in the house.
Well, I try to stay have some baseline knowledge so I can converse about the basics. But when you get down in the weeds, I'm like, okay, I don't know.
So I was texting with my son. Right, none of my kids have the love for sports that I have. But I was texting with my son last night. I'm like, hey, so what are you guys doing? Because they're 3 hours behind us.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys doing tonight? And he said, we're playing a game right now, and then we're going to watch the Lions game. And I mean, you had this moment of fatherly pride, right? I'm just like, oh, man, love
boy.
that. That's
It's funny
train
'cause
up a child in the way he should go.
me and my dad both love sports, and I'm not kidding. I'll be sitting there watching something, and I don't have to ask him who's watching. I can say, hey, can you believe that play? He's like, oh, I know. We'll text him, because I know he's watching this right now.
Yeah.
And I'll just text him. It doesn't have to be a team we like, but we're both probably.
Yeah. All right. Well, we didn't come here to talk about sports today.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna get started with a would you rather question.
Oh boy.
Okay. So
I love these.
do you?
I do.
I think I know the answer to this one. It's not one of my better ones. Okay.
Okay. Can't
So
wait.
would you rather have only? Wait, I think we've done this on the podcast before, haven't we? Because Steve was like, "Oh, turned us into this whole thing about Steve and the monkeys." Like Steve, have you guys seen that?
No.
Don't remember Steve and the monkeys.
Steve is afraid of monkeys in India. That's
Like
all
Indiana Jones, kind of like
that
that
India,
monkey.
not Indiana.
You know what I'm
Because
saying?
they,
Like,
steal
in
stuff.
that
He doesn't
Indiana Jones movie, there's that.
doesn't like snakes, right?
No,
Well, they
there's
eat-
a
they eat
monkey
brains
that
in
steals things in that episode.
Oh,
of
but
that
doesn't that
movie.
monkey end up dead?
Yeah, because it eats something.
I know
eats
they
the
eat the
poison
monkey
thing.
brains
Yeah.
too, or something.
Yeah, but yeah, So I need a different would you rather question. So, all right. So here it is. Would you rather not be allowed to shower for a month,
Easy.
or not be allowed to brush your teeth for a week?
I would much rather not be allowed to brush my teeth for a week.
Me, I'd go shower because like I have to brush my teeth at least twice a day, or else
I got a shower. Like, you can hide.
there's deodorant.
You can hide. You don't have to. You can like adjust your proximity if you haven't brushed your teeth. But if you haven't showered, people can smell you from.
Can you use like gum and mints?
We didn't determine that.
Nobody did. So
Um,
No. It ruins the spirit
John
of the
says
question.
no.
No.
That'd be like, well, can you? But that for the showering, can you use something like Lumi?
No. It ruins the spirit of the question.
I'm pretty sure that's going to give you
I mean,
cancer.
the
I don't want to
question
get
is, would
sued.
you rather have body odor or bad breath, right?
But you could, hi, how are you guys doing?
What's going on?
David made me do a would you rather, and now I can't brush my teeth for a week.
You just have COVID happen again.
Yeah, you could wear a mask.
I guess with it being a week, I could go a week without brushing my teeth over not showering.
Yeah,
But
no. See, for me,
the taste though would kill me.
that's the thing. For
It'd be
me, the even if I smelled bad, that wouldn't bother me. 'Cause I really can't smell that much, and it's not the bad breath. It's like the yuck of the mouth.
Yeah.
that would be like. I just don't think I could handle
There's
that.
a lot more surface, I'm just saying, there's a lot worse than the yuck of the mouth, if you ask me.
All right, so we're divided on this one. One says no shower. One says no teeth.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell us in the comments what you would rather do. Would you rather go a month without showering or a week without brushing your teeth? Think we can get like 5 responses, maybe.
Yeah, I'll text my 5 friends.
Okay. How about,
I'll tell my mom, she'll do
how
it.
about this? How about we do a special prize for the 5th person to comment on this podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Toothpaste.
If you are the 5th person to comment on this podcast, then we will send you a Chick-fil-A gift card.
Oof.
All right.
Oh wait, I'm gonna be it.
Are we saying the person who makes the 5th comment? Or
Nope, the 5th.
individual?
It's got to be the 5th person
To
to
answer.
comment, and obviously,
He's gonna do the first 4.
What they're going to do is they're going to
doesn't
make
work.
5 comments.
you're gonna make 5.
And be like,
different-
I am the
well,
5th.
because everybody has 5 different Gmail accounts, right? So you just log into all of your different Gmail accounts. And
true.
John may have already done it by the time we're finished.
I'm on it. It's not even posted yet.
All right. So hey, we're gonna talk about the summit today.
Yay.
Yes.
So we've got our awesome team of kids and youths and
The youth.
I thought it was
These
F.
youth.
Youths.
vowels will be cool one day again. We'll see.
Vowels will be cool.
Maybe.
I vow to you.
So just the U.
Then we're gonna have to rebrand everything again. Gotta add the
It'd
O and
be kind of
U.
funny to have a T-shirt that was like VWLSRKL. Right?
That would be cool.
That'd be kind of cool.
I'd wear that shirt actually.
All right. So we're going to talk about the summit because the summit is actually one of my favorite things that we do at the gathering. I think
Mine
it's
too.
one of the absolute best things that we do. And just, quick overview. The summit is our program for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. We're going to dive into the details of it here as we go. But let's start by talking about why we do it. So what are the goals for the summit? And because I always think in outlines, my questions come in outlines, right? So let's talk about what are our long-term goals and what are our short-term goals, and we can mix that up as we go. But why do we do the summit?
So for me, for long-term goals, we want to foster faith that actually sticks. And there's lots of empirical data. Well, it's not a lot, but there's some recent empirical data that shows that if kids are exposed to higher thinking at a younger age with regards to spiritual matters, that is a what's the word? Is it harbinger or
Harbinger.
Harbinger. I never can say that word.
There's a book called The Harbinger.
There is.
Yeah, and I can't say that one either.
It's super popular.
I don't know why, but it just doesn't. I can't say it. But it makes faith that sticks.
Okay.
I'm stuck on the word
I
harbinger.
know. I'm
It's
thinking
such
in
a
my
good
mind.
word.
I'm trying to
because
think of what
I want to
harbinger
say
is.
harbinger, but it's not. It's harbinger.
See, that's the problem. Is anytime you see ing in a word, you want to say ing, right?
Yeah.
So they should have spelled harbinger with a J. And this is the problem with English, is that there's so many different ways you can say and spell things. It's just hard to understand. Because I agree, it looks like it should be harbinger.
Yeah.
But it's harbinger.
There's just some words I can't say, like brewery. Can't say it. Brewery.
I always get made fun of some of the words.
I think you got to turn it into 2 syllables.
Brewery.
No. Brewery.
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 That came out a little accent. In there,
Brewery.
but brewery.
Brewery.
Can't do it.
Brewery.
Have you guys seen what's the movie now? I lost it. Strange Brew?
No.
Seriously. You've never seen
Who's in it? Like
the McKenzie brothers.
I don't even know who that
that
is.
helped.
So
I'm looking at John to see if
I
he
don't know
knows.
who that is.
Okay, this is awesome. Strange Brew. So, okay, this is me showing my northernness.
Okay.
It's these two guys, Bob and Doug McKenzie, who are Canadian, and the whole movie is just about them trying to get free beer.
It's a very Canadian movie.
So they go to the brewery. They got this whole plan that they're going to put a mouse in the bottle and go to the brewery and say, we found a mouse in our bottle, so give us free beer. And then, of course, there's, lots of hijinks and there's hockey and all kinds of good stuff. But I highly recommend Strange Brew. Fantastic. One of the best movies ever made.
Mark it here. Strange Brew. Go watch it. Rent it.
Well, there's your moment you're talking about. Is David doing the Canadian accent? There you go.
Oh, yeah.
The
The Canadian accent.
Yeah.
If you had David does Canadian accent on your bingo card, you just won.
won.
Eh?
You want to? Well, you can't win a beer from you, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what were you long term?
Well, no, yeah. So for me, I mean, the big thing with the summit is I always say, the churches for a long time do a really good job teaching about Jesus. But for me, like the long-term goals, we want to teach them how to have an actual relationship with Jesus, to have their own faith. We say like to grow in faith, they have to first own their faith is my big thing. And so, we'll get into this a little bit, what the years look like, but the way we set it up is that, man, we want them to first understand faith on their own and own it and grow in it, because I don't want kids just to be able to like give random head knowledge about Jesus, but be like, no, this is who Jesus is to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. And, for me, the long-term goal is my little catchphrase that we want to get them ready to leave the church without leaving their faith.
Right.
That's, to me, we expect the kids in our church to leave our church because they're going to grow up, they're going to move, whatever the reasons are. And we're good with that. But when they leave our church, we don't want them to leave the faith. And so I think that's why it's so important. What about short-term? How does the summit benefit, like right now, our kids program and our youth program?
I'll answer first.
Go ahead.
Because this is the first one that just came to mind, because just relational, short term, like just creating these relationships that are really tight, that all of a sudden, like every summit, these kids came in excited about summit. They all started hanging out with each other. The first summit, they were all kind of sitting around, like just eating, looking at each other. By the time we were done, they were all in the corner talking immediately and going on the trip together. So even, like you could say there's a spiritual component to that, because there is, of having good relationships within the church. But, for me, that's my hope one day, is that because I had really good friendships in the church that are still my friends, that I want that for my kids. And I want that for your kids, is I want them to, have those special bonds in church. And so we saw that last year, which was cool, is these kids growing super close together.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Anything to add to that?
I think, because we're getting to be a bigger church. And I think that having just that opportunity once a month, like you said, just to be together with the same group of kids is extremely beneficial. And then from a selfish point of view, not really selfish, but I enjoy like building those relationships with those kids, which is something that I don't necessarily have the time to do during the regular Sunday. And then I think too that we're giving them something to think about all the time. Like I think having that higher, because what we're looking at are the deeper questions. So we're exposing them to these deeper questions once a month on a regular basis. I think that really gets the juices going, and that's a short term and a long term benefit.
I like that. I like that a lot. To me, one of the big short term benefits, and this is just super practical for us, is the summit serves a little bit as a bridge ministry, because we know that one of those fallout points for kids and families is between kids and youth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? Your kids get through the whole children's program, and they don't want to go to the youth program because it's scary and there's big kids and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This really gives us a good bridge, because now your 4th and 5th graders kind of get exposed to the 6th graders a little bit, and they build those relationships. Makes it so much easier for kids to transition into that next phase. So I think that's awesome. So let's talk about how it's built, the structure, It's for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders.
Yep.
But what does that look like?
So, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, this will be our second year. So we'll be running basically 2 summits at once. So I'll talk a little bit about the first one if you want to talk about 5th grade, like the second one.
Let me jump in real quick though. Why don't we start with the big picture? So this is the second year.
Okay.
And you guys have a 3-year plan to get this whole thing implemented.
Yes.
So at the end of it, what's it going to look like? Like, what's the finished product look like every year?
We'll be running 3. Our idea is that on those Summit Sundays, they're all going to come together, have lunch together. We'll do an opening game. You just keep the relationship going, but then they'll break out into 3 different pathways, basically. And those pathways are know, go, and grow.
All right.
Are the
But
3
we have
pathways.
cool names for them too, right?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah.
What are the cool names?
Thematic names. So Andrew's going to be proud of me because I can never remember this. But year 1 is Outfitters. So that's your 4th
Nice.
grade year, which we put everybody through last year because it was our first year. And we want all the kids to go through all the phases. So, and that would be the level where we learn to know. And then this next year, for which will be 5th and 6th graders this year and 5th graders only in the future, will be, where was I? No,
Year
where was
2.
I? No, so now we're at
Outfitters.
base camp. So then we go to base camp. I always get that backwards. But the base camp. And then the 6th grade year, which will be just 6th graders when we get to it, it will be Summit. And that's where we talk about what do we do now? Now we know, and now we've learned how to grow through spiritual disciplines, and now we're going to go. And what does that look like in practical application? Is that fair to
Cool.
say?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dig it?
Yeah.
So 3 years that our kids are in it, 4th, 5th,
Yes.
and 6th. So it starts with Outfitters, goes into base camp, and then Summit.
Yeah.
And then, but every time they come together, which is how often? Once a month.
10 times a
Yeah.
year,
Once a
yeah.
month. Every time they come together, they start out all together, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then they break out into their.
Yep.
Okay,
Right.
cool. So now this year's year 2.
Yes.
So this year we only have 2 groups instead of 3. And what do those look like?
So we have the first one, which is Outfitters. We call it Outfitters because before you go on a trek, hiking, whatever, you have to have the right gear. So we outfit them with all the tools of faith that they need to know their faith, the tenets of Christianity, all those things. And so then the second year is base camp because when you're about to scale Mount Everest, there's always you got to get there, get ready, get your oxygen ready, get everything ready, and learn your routes and know what you're going to do. So that's growing. So that's going to be this year. We're excited about it because this is a new thing, and we're going, like she said a second ago, kind of going a route of teaching them spiritual disciplines on how to create really healthy spiritual habits right now and rhythms that they can stick with them of whatever it may be. So
Cool. What are some of the spiritual rhythms that they're going to learn about?
We're going to talk about prayer as a spiritual discipline. What else? do we talk-
fasting, one of them.
Fasting.
We are going to
That'll
talk
be
about fasting.
interesting.
Are you
Yeah.
gonna give them
Right
food
after we
that day?
feed the McDonald's, we're going to talk about fasting.
We're going to eat Doritos in front of them while they sit and watch us. No, we're not going to do that. What else did we do? I brought them because I knew I would forget them.
You needed
I
all
brought
of them. So
them.
prayer,
Yeah.
fasting.
We act like we've never.
We literally just looked at this list
We
a second
did.
ago.
Probably something to do with Bible reading or Bible study,
Yes.
that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Are
we're
you
gonna
doing,
do-
giving as a habit.
Well,
So she's got the whole list.
so we
here.
have week 1 is our overview. 2 is prayer. 3 is reading your Bible and studying your Bible. 4 is worship. 5 is serving. 6 fasting. 7 rest.
Awesome.
8 fellowship, and 9 we're going to talk about mentoring, guiding, helping to make disciples yourself.
Cool. That's
those
awesome.
Those are our
So,
ones.
yeah.
And who's writing the curriculum?
We write it together.
Yes. All right. So if you're out there watching this and you work in kids ministry somewhere and you're like, hey, this is a really cool idea, reach out to Andrew and Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
They are more than happy to share. Right? We don't copyright any of this stuff. If somebody said, hey, we'd like to look at your curriculum, and you guys write it a month at a time, right?
Yep.
Usually,
Yeah, the first year is pretty much all done and packaged and ready to go for people to take. And
All right.
So-
Cool. All right. So let's talk about the 3 years specifically then. So last year we started, and that was with no,
yeah,
right?
Outfitters.
So what did you guys do for that?
Oh, we answered some really fun questions from our kids. They really asked us some really awesome questions about things like, do angels have free will? That was my favorite one. Then one week they got caught on the devil. What about the devil this and the devil that? But then they're also asking some super relevant questions. How do we know God is real? And Who wrote the Bible and why
Where did
should we
God
listen
come
to
from?
it?
So basically, like, you know how like you have survey classes of Old Testament, New Testament. We basically did that like a 30,000-foot view of like the storyline of the Bible of faith, starting from the first question of who is God, and then creation was next, then sin, then how did God speak to people after sin? Like, what was the plan after sin? And then we talked about Jesus. We spent a few weeks on Jesus, then the church, early church. What that means for us now and Revelation. So we kind of did like a survey as that first year of faith going through the Bible.
Awesome. And so this year, all of our fourth graders are going to do that,
Yes.
right? And then our fifth and our sixth graders will be doing the disciplines, the habits, those
Yeah.
kinds of things together. And then year three, the sixth graders will do Go.
Yeah.
And what's that all about?
So we think that 6th year may be a lot different, where it's
Okay.
not going to be as much of sitting in here and listening, or maybe some of that, but actually like maybe like, guys, this week we're going to start with you guys, but 6th graders, we're going to go down and serve here. And maybe go do some more stuff, like actually get
awesome.
out and do things and take little mini field trips.
Yeah,
love
put faith
that.
in the
And then
action.
end the
Yeah.
year with a big camping trip just for those 6th graders.
Nice.
Like somewhere nice, like a retreat basically.
Cool.
Yeah.
So last year you did a reward trip for the kids who finished the program.
Yep.
And where did they go?
Kings Island. We had so much fun.
It was the hottest day of summer.
It was.
great.
We were like, you must
Yeah.
drink. Like you have you do. I'm not thirsty.
Water.
It's too bad. Have some
No
water.
one, no one passed out. It was fun.
No,
So
a lot of nauseous
is there a
people.
reward trip this year then?
Huh?
Is there a reward trip this year?
Yeah,
We'll
so I
probably
think
go
we're,
back.
we're going to go to Kings Island again.
Awesome.
And we may
It was
make
fun.
that just every year, that everyone gets to go to Kings Island at the end. But then those 6th graders that finish the 3rd year, they get to go to Kings Island, but then
also get
also
their own
this
Yeah, they get their
Cool.
special
treat.
trip.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And also, important note, if you had a child who was a 6th grader last year and they're a 7th grader this year, they are invited to come back and also do that second round of summit.
Right. Yeah, which is
Yeah.
great because because this is all in development, the kids who are at the upper ends of it, they're missing out on the extra years. So we're giving them that opportunity
Yeah.
to go back, which I love that you guys are doing that. All right, I'm going to come back to you in just a second, and I'm going to ask you one more question, and it is, what was your favorite moment of the summit last year? So think about that for just a second. I'm going to do a commercial for the summit while you guys are thinking about it, right?
Okay.
So, hey, if you are a parent of a 4th, 5th, or 6th grader, or you're a grandparent, or maybe you're a friend or whatever, one of the very best things you can do for the spiritual development of that child is to get them into the summit. And the summit starts this coming Sunday. Is that right? September 15th. So if you're watching this later, it's already started. And if they're not signed up yet, you go to our website, the Gayton Gathering.
David, you work at the
There.
you work at the
Right.
gathering.
Go,
Dayton.
go to our website, thedaytongathering.com. Is that right? What is our website?
There's the next moment. Gee.
Go to our. If you go to our church already, you know this stuff.
You already know.
You should know this.
If you go to our church already, go to the Church Center app, right? But if you don't go to our church and you're like in the Dayton area, or even the Cincinnati area, the Gathering Dayton.
The Gathering Dayton.
thegatheringdayton.com and look at events, and you can find the summit, and you can get your kids signed up, and we'd love to have them come for that. All right.
Thegatheringdayton.gov.
Worst commercial ever. Did a great job selling the product and a terrible job telling people how to get it. All right.
Just come.
You know what?
Third
Just-
Sunday.
you know
Yeah,
what?
it's
Just
fun.
Click on the link that takes you to our YouTube page and find your way from there.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, come on.
Google the gathering date and it will pop up.
All that. Yeah.
If you put in Gathering Dayton on Google, you will find us.
All right. All right. All right. Here we go. Who's first?
I think I already know what you're going to say. So
Well,
you
you
go
go
first.
ahead. No.
No, you go.
Okay.
I'll tell you if I was right.
Well, now you make me feel bad that I may not say something really important.
No,
that I
you
missed.
will. I know you. You'll say something important. You're
no,
good.
it's not.
I believe in
something
you.
important
What if
actually.
he gives
But-
you something totally?
Is it not? Is it not
I liked it when
okay?
we had Taco Bell.
I will adjust my answer according
No,
to
no.
yours, so you don't look bad.
Were you gonna say Taco Bell?
Well, actually,
never
a
look
really
bad.
good memory is them mixing all the sauces and like drinking all the hot sauces.
That's not what I thought you were
great.
gonna say.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's a good memory, though.
It is a good
Okay.
memory. You love tacos, though.
I do.
They are
Like,
so
when
good though.
we had tacos for lunch today with
Yeah.
our leadership team,
Yeah,
and we were talking this morning before you guys were here about ordering how many to order.
yeah, and they were about to
And,
mess
and
up.
Becca was like, "I'm gonna get 12." I was like, "Oh no, that's only enough for Andrew. I need more than that."
Everyone knows my love for Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hidden. Probably my favorite thing was that very first Sunday. Them kind of like the unknown. These kids coming into youth room, and like it's always kind of cool going into youth room as a kid. And then that's just like opening up with just saying like, get up, the floor is lava. And just letting them just cut loose of like, all of a sudden it was just, oh, this is going to be fun. But then at the end of that first one, then we started saying, because it was a whole lot about questions, and questions are okay. We want questions to be good here. And then letting them ask some questions about like, where did God come from? Who created God? It's okay to ask these questions. Let's talk about these questions. And so that first Sunday of seeing them coming kind of nervous, what is this? To then like just fun and opening up real quick was probably
That was awesome.
cool. It was fun.
All right.
That's not what I thought you were gonna say.
I want to know what you thought I was going to say.
I
now.
thought you were gonna say that day that 3 kids made decisions. Remember? That was a good day.
Hey,
I
you know
was
what?
waiting.
You were right. You didn't say the right
I
thing.
did not say the right thing.
That was a good day. But I actually was gonna answer differently, a little bit. Not the word is not Jesus joke here, but one time this kid and I don't know who wrote it because we don't. We have a box and kids can ask questions, put them in the box, and that way they can be answered with anonymity. And so this one kid wrote something like, this is going to make me cry. How do I know that God loves me if I have trouble loving myself?
Oof.
And I thought, this is exactly why we have this box.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a lot more affection for that box after that kid asked that question.
All right. Well, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
So what's the answer to that?
Well, what the way we approached it because we talked about it because we answered it the next week in class, is that I don't remember exactly what I said, but if I were to answer it now, I would say that you are made in God's image. He made you. He loves you so much. Do you know how your mom loves you, or how your grandma loves you, or whoever really loves you? Well, God loves you way more than that. Way more than that person can possibly love you, as much as you are loved. And that love is real that people have for you.
Yeah.
But God made you. And sometimes I'll use the illustration. I might have that day of when you draw a picture, you make a picture. It's your picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
You love your picture. You drew a picture. You take it and you say, look at my picture. And that is how God loves you. Look at my beautiful daughter, my beautiful son. Like, not to take it all the way down like that, but how cool was that question?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that was a
That's-
good question.
Right.
It was really
And
good.
yeah, and that's not kind of how I thought my favorite part was going to be. I thought it was going to be more like the apologetics, but it was not. It was that emotional question that's bred from these intellectual thoughts.
Yeah.
And that's where we're trying to get. We're trying to get to the heart through the brain.
Well, a question like that
Yeah,
yells, "I'm taking this seriously."
you're
And
right.
I really am looking for answers. And I
Yeah.
think that's awesome.
Right.
But I love the answer, though, because it's right out of Ephesians 2, right? That we are God's handiwork.
Sure, that's
Right.
where I
We're
got
his
it. No.
masterpiece. So
Yes.
That's a great answer.
But it's true. I
Yeah.
mean, there's how many ways can you answer that question? 100.
Yeah. I also like the grandma's love. I mean,
Yeah.
you think about it, our parents' love is great. But does anybody love you more than a grandma?
No.
Nope. She's the
So-
one giving you the cookies.
Yeah.
Even
We
if you
also-
were bad, you got the cookies.
We also did have a Sunday where 3 kids did accept Jesus in their life, so that was
Yeah.
a good one
Which
too.
was the answer we should have
I
gotten
should
off
have
the bat.
given from me, but
Right. So we'll
Well, but you have answered the question that way before when we
Yeah.
talked about it. That's why I thought you were going to say it.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good Sunday.
Yeah, cool. All right, so this Sunday, what's for lunch that day?
Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Taco
All right.
Bell.
Yeah.
So-
That was our most popular lunch last year, I think, was Taco Bell.
All right, so if you got kids, 4th, 5th, or 6th grade,
Yep.
have them here for the summit.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome.
And even if they miss the first one, like if they can't be here this Sunday, don't think that they're out. Just let them join when they're
Yeah.
here. Yep.
You know what we didn't talk about is the cool swag they get.
Oh, I should have brought some
backpacks.
We didn't
swag
bring
in
any
here.
in.
Yeah,
But they get the
Trust
coolest
us.
drawstring backpack ever.
Yeah. Cool
Yeah.
swag.
It's orange.
So, all right. All right. Well, hey guys, awesome. I love what you're doing. I'm excited to hear more stories about the summit. And you guys did a great. This is best podcast ever, I think.
Here, high five.
Maybe
me.
not. I do like your shirt
right.
though.
Like this one?
I've been admiring it the whole time. Yeah.
What about it? Like the color or the
I
pattern?
like. I do like the.
This has an affinity to anything that resembles any type of flannel.
It is flannel,
Like,
right?
actually
Oh,
flannel.
Let
yeah.
me see.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no. Is this felt?
Is it felt?
It is now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Help
Hey,
us.
thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.